It has been a long while since we've gotten anything from the Triassic and Permian, and today we've gotten the best of both worlds. A Permian hybrid fused between Edaphosaurus and the recently rediscovered Nanotyrannus and Edaphosaurus to create Nanophosaurus, a new legendary hybrid that will stomp its way into tournaments today. Meanwhile, Pierce, another creature from the Camp Cretaceous series, has also joined the ranks and might just be the strongest legendary in the game. So stick around as we take a look at Nanophosaurus' stats, abilities, combat profile, and finally bringing forth a verdict at the end of the episode to determine where this hybrid stacks up in the roster. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Stay tuned because the battles are very, very fun. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Nanophosaurus brings to the table 6,525 health, 2,250 attack, 119 speed, 5% armor, 5% crit, and really high 145 critical damage. This is a very good stat to have, and I actually do think the lower attack helps it out a lot just because its other abilities amp its attack further, so anything else would be a little too OP. But I guess while we're on the topic of stats, I personally would have made this thing immune to distraction, and that's something I advocated for during the test builds of this. They still haven't done it, so I'm hoping that it is something they get to eventually. But if you want to counter the Rebirth Raptor as you mentioned prior, then that is something I would go for. But in general, these stats are very, very clean. So let's head on over to Sector 2. I don't know how this keeps happening, but I keep losing my sheet that has the abilities on it, so I'm going to do this all off the top of my head. If I remember correctly, this thing has Vicious Fear Strike, Nullifying Impact, Defense Shattering Recovery, and Defense Shattering Rampage with Distraction Vulnerability Counter. So as I highlighted previously, I mentioned the fact that having the lower attack stat helps this thing not become overly oppressive. Because Vicious Fear Strike already increases your damage and critical chance right off the bat, this thing would be better suited as a revenge killer, setting up with Vicious Fear Strike and then hitting with a huge Defense Shattering Rampage or Nullification would win you a lot of matchups, surprisingly. In my opinion, personally, a good buff would be making Vicious Fear Strike a priority, or replacing Nullifying Impact with what I call a Blighted Nullifying Impact. Essentially just cleanses decreased damage over time, increases your speed, and then adds like a slight, blight effect of like 25 or 50%. That alone would make it a really good legendary against stuff like Becklolith, the Rebirth Rex, even Pierce, which we'll get to in a little bit. So, in my opinion, I'd give the kit overall like a 5 or 6 out of 10. There's a few kinks here and there that I think would need to be worked out, but in general, I can definitely see what they were going with, just leaning this more towards the setup direction, which definitely does work out, and you'll see in a little bit. But with that being said, let us take a look at its head-to-head matchups. Don't really think you need a genius telling you that this thing is not really the best in head-to-head matchups. Again, like I said previously, it's going to thrive off the setup, and when it is set up, it actually becomes a very hard thing to stop. As you can see here, it wins against things like Parasaurolophus Gen 2 and Centrosaurus, does okay against Gigantospino and Brunette, and actually does very well against Titanosaur. It draws against Rebel, and needs a little bit of RNG to beat Doe, which I don't think it would do anyway, just because Doe can hit you extremely hard right off the bat and then follow up with Precise Impact. And then it loses to Becklolith, along with the Rebirth Raptor, Nyctoteryx, Megamimus, and Panthera Blythea. However, in the testings we did, it actually does very good against the Rebirth Rex, which I'm proud to see. Even with what seems to be a very underwhelming kit, it does do solid, and I'm glad because we actually need a Rebirth Rex counter. But those would be the matchups. If it was set up, however, a lot of this list wouldn't even be down that low. But because we are scoring this on a head-to-head basis, this is what the list looks like. Anyway, without further ado, let us hit into the evaluation segment. As we pull up Nanophosaurus' evaluation, I'm going to be giving this hybrid a 1.5 out of 5 in synergy. It's not a synergist at all, it is chiefly a head-to-head creature and that's what it excels at. Speaking of head-to-head, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5, or you can bump that up to a 3.5 or 4 out of 5 when set up, because in our initial testing it was a monster to put down once it had Vicious Strike up and going. Competitiveness, I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. I think this is going to be a good pick, but I don't think it's going to be a top 8 main pick that a lot of people go to. In my personal opinion anyway, it could change as we get more legendaries in the format. As for fun, again, in our testings, I had a lot of fun with Nano, and there was some pretty cool niche strats that I tested out, so for that I'm going to be giving it a 5 out of 5. This is a subjective score for everybody, so you might have it a 0 out of 5, a 2 out of 5, what have you. For your plug and play options, I'm going to be giving it a 3 out of 5. This kind of ties into the competitive side of things, but I think this is going to be a good filler legendary in case you don't get something like Spinosaurus Gen 2 or T-Rex or Velociraptor. And then for the adjustment side of things, I'm going to be giving it a 2 out of 5, just because I think they're trying to, push this thing in the direction of hybrid fodder whilst not being completely crap, if that makes sense. But if they take my suggestion, then all power to them. And then for a boost profile, I'll be giving this hybrid 13, 12, 10, which gives you 8,645 health, 2,925 attack, and 139 speed. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of this video. Nanophosaurus was extremely fun to record, and we got some good Pierce battles in between as well. Pretty sure Shantunrax is up soon, so you guys are going to get some fun with that. But with that being said, good luck on ladder, and enjoy the show. Okay, I kind of got some in-hand synergy. I've got Acrocanthops, I've got PB. I'm still trying to find out if Nanophosaurus is a good opener or not. Ooh, he has it. Okay. Well, this is going to be a good test to see if he can kill Titanosaur. Would this be a 50-50, actually? Never mind. No. I forgot. Vicious Fear Strike is actually a very good setup option. Wow. So, if I were to go for my Intimidating Brace or whatnot, the thing I have here, that wouldn't kill it, I'm assuming, just because he has like a 50% chance to crit. Yes, let's go. Oh yeah, no, he can kill. Wait, actually, is it RNG dependent? You got a big crit, so... I don't know. I think Nanophosaurus could do a pretty good job at it. If he didn't get the crit. But hey, he brings it down, so... Hold on. So he does 2,800, was it? On a normal hit? Okay. So what I can do is I can bring Acrocanthops in here. Go for my precise instant rampage. What is he swapping to? Ooh, the Velociraptor. Okay. In hindsight, I probably should have gone for the thingamajig, the Revenge Distracting Strike. Okay. Well, I'll go for it now. I kind of want to touch up on something that I've been holding on to for a while. It might just be a me problem that's been bothering me, but I feel like I'm not alone in this, and it's regarding data mines, right? So for the longest time, we've been getting creature data mines, and I don't know how to say this without sounding like a dick. Okay. So I'm going to swap PB here. Ooh, he nearly kills me. Alright. I don't know if that was a good option, but I get the raptor out of the way. There we go. The snow leopard comes in. I'm pretty sure that Panthera blythea was the first cat discovered, if memory serves correct. I don't know why it's called Panthera. I don't know if it's got that same larynx that lions and tigers do. I feel like that'd be really, really hard to find, especially in an animal that's 5.2 million years old or whatnot. So, and if I remember correctly as well, Panthera is really, really small. It's, from what I can gather, about the size of a clouded leopard. So, I mean, if we have a clouded leopard-sized cat that can roar, that's pretty badass. I don't know how it got the Panthera name, because apparently this thing is with the lions, tigers, and jaguars. But snow leopards are quite literally on thin ice in that department as well. They can't roar. They can't do shit with their voice. They sound like a squeaky Simba. So how they got roped into the lion, tiger, jaguar lunch table is beyond me. But again, cats seem to find a way to defy like quite literally all odds. So I'm not even gonna begin to argue any logic. I just go with whatever is told me regarding cats. I'm like, yep. I mean, that's something I can believe. If you told me a cat can fly, I'd be like, you know what? Yep, I can see that happening because they just don't die either when they fall. So, what was I talking about? Something about drama. Oh yeah, data mines. Okay, let me just finish this up. Oh yeah, 8,150 damage. I'm the speed tide demon, bro. GG, Rick. I just checked my microphone like positioning, and to me it sounded a little bit muffled, so I'm hoping this sounds a little bit better to you guys. Let me know, because while recording I'm set up, I'm listening, and then I'm like, okay, hold on, let me go back and like readjust anything. So do let me know if this sounds better. To me it does when I was doing some tests. But now what I want to test out is, can the Rebirth Rex kill Nanophosaurus? And it's quite interesting because a lot of people have said it can. We're going to put that to the test. So you got to open Cheat Death turn 1. Okay, get a crit. Am I immune to vulnerability? No, okay. So I'm going to go for Instant Destructive Feint. I'm going to see how much he can do. I have 3,600, so depending on the number, I'm going to say around about 3,200 damage. 3,100. Oh, and Nanophosaurus is what, 50% resistant to distraction? He can kill you. Huh. So you literally have to go feint multiple times in order to chip him down, but you put Nanopho directly into revenge killing range. What if you spammed feint? Would that do anything? I don't... If you open a feint... No, but then... He would out pressure you. He would just already apply so much damage that you wouldn't even be able to survive the next hit. Huh. Alright, let me click real quick. Yes! Oh my goodness. Got it. Okay. Rick has been doing really good at speed ties ever since he's been fighting me. He's kind of, alright in the slow tie. I've dominated every slow tie in the beta. But with the speed ties, I've seen massive improvement. Like, if this guy actually tried in tournaments, I think he could be a really well-performing player. Oh, Rebirth Raptor. See, if this thing received immunity to distraction, I can see it being a top 8 creature. Genuinely. It's so strong when set up. It's unbelievable. Alright, so what was I going to say? Yeah, so data mines. Just to get this really quick out the way, because it's already a couple weeks old, it's drama. But a lot of the data miner team and myself have just kind of cut all information from the community. And this might be a hot topic. This might piss a lot of people off. But I don't think people need data mines. I think conceptually they're good. In practice, they've been hugely weaponized. They've been used for a lot of wrong. I think data mines are good if we got a couple leaks themselves from Ludia directly. Like if they teased something, that would be great. But it builds hype. But when you see a creature 6 months early, that kills off any hype. At that point, you're just like, okay, now I'm waiting for this to happen. I guess, what's the point? This game survived 5.5 years without data mines. It built up hype previously. I remember when Ankylosing Lux was released, so many people were discussing on what that component could be. Nobody knew. And then when it was dropped that it was Diorajosaur instead of Paracethops, people were shocked and blown away. But guess what? It built hype. But now we're seeing things 3, 4, 5, 6 months into the future, and people are like, oh, that's cool. When is it coming out? And then it just kills any hype. So I think in practice they've been weaponized. I don't think they're needed for the community. And to all the people that are like, oh, but you and other data miners get all this stuff early. We really don't. We really don't know this information in the data mines, contrary to popular belief. It's until we get into the beta is when we do know. So I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I'm not really giving anything away either. So I'm straight up just, stating the obvious that you don't really know anything from the data mines. Like, you don't know any prior information that you wouldn't really get until Lydia directly tells you. So, and it's so what? Like, if people get early information, if they've worked for it, if they've put in the effort to communicate with Lydia, I think they should be rewarded. I think the data miners that have put in the effort, put in the work to get this, should be rewarded with some early info. Not the community, though, because the community has become so entitled, so basically intoxicated. Oh, 1 health. Oh, the Indominus Rex refuses to die. Oh, we stay winning, boys. Not Nanopho. Nanopho's about to die. I completely forgot that Pierce is, like, really, really strong. Yeah, it's got, like, 1 counter in the format. And that's, like, Parallax. Oh, you see that? That's cool. Like, the sail kind of folds in on itself when Nanopho dies. That's a cool detail. GG. So, yeah, essentially, what I'm trying to say is, I think conceptually data mines are good. In practice, they're very wrong. I think we should have a system in place for it to not happen as often as it does. I think Lydia themselves should naturally build up hype, posting maybe a picture or two, maybe like a small teaser, maybe some ingredients, every now and then, like a forum. Not letting like 5 or 6 people who don't even work with the company do that job for you. But that's my stance on it. I think, generally speaking, my main contention is a lot of people have just become so narcissistic, so entitled to get data mines, and it's wrong. Like, I've seen people literally manipulating others to get this info. That's inherently wrong. And if we've gotten to that point, I think just cancel all data mines for everybody. Anybody, all the entirety of the community that aren't either content creators or data miners themselves. Cancel it for anybody. Because it sets a horrible precedent. Leaks are not really that healthy for the game in general. Like I said, they kill off hype. I'm not going to repeat myself like 80,000 times, but you get the point. So let me know down below. I mean, if people hate me for that reason, so be it. I'm speaking from a content creator perspective because, I guess now it's my job to bring this content forth to you guys. But I just don't like hype being killed off in general. I like when the community's hyped. For us content creators, it's like a gold mine. We can talk with the community, we can tease, we can be like, hey, what do you guys think of this? But we can't really now ask that because everybody and their grandmothers now know the ingredients to shit. So, I mean, that's from my perspective. Like I said, let me know what you think. But it's just become a bigger problem, and it's kind of been something that's in the back of my mind recently, so that's what I wanted to address. Okay, so he's finally dead. I just want to take a moment to appreciate Nanopho's design real quick. I know a lot of people are like, oh, recency bias, he likes this because it's new. Okay, to your argument, I don't like Megamimus. I think it is a huge step up from Megaraptor. It looks somehow more Megaraptoron than the actual animal itself, minus the beak. But Nanopho's design looks so beautiful, like the colors on it, the design. My only critique is maybe the sail should be a little bit higher and, kind of running down the tail. That'd be way nicer, and I'm pretty sure somebody could redesign it. And if they do, I'll post a picture on it. But, Acrocanthops putting in the work. That's what we love to see. And Acrocanthops return. Please buff this thing yet again. Like, I would love to see Acrocanthops actually become way more meta. I think the buff they did give it was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Double rampage, like give this thing like cheat death, and we're all good. I think all synapsids should have cheat death. Is that a hot take to say? Like Magnapirator, Gorgonops, Inostrensevia, like they should have all like a form of cheat death. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we might do a video where we just rework more, hybrids. Oh, a double crit! Oh, you love to see it. This thing is just absolutely demolishing. The Synapsid Master. Okay, I've got it again. Oh my god, look at that design. It's just so beautiful. When I do looking at the eyes now, I feel like when we do the 3D render of it to put in the video, the eyes are just going to start bouncing everywhere, and that kind of concerns me because it happened with Megamimus, and for whatever reason, the medium theropod rig just hates being put in 3D. So I'm just hoping for the best. I don't think Nanopho can kill Pierce. We've tried this out like numerous times. I think it's super situational and it's literally down to a 50-50 on who plays. If they open strike, you open recovery, I think you win. If they open shield and you go recovery, I think they win. Piercing Thagomizer. You just do so much damage. Wait, no, I could have... Oh. Yeah, because if they open strike turn 2 and you go for defense shattering, okay, that's... Oh my god, bro. I could have killed him. Okay. Wait, I still have my shield up. Oh, this is so good. He can't kill me. I had my shield! What the fuck? Okay, that's that. Okay, I guess. I didn't want to showcase Nanopho anyway. I guess I'll rebirth Raptor you. My goodness, bro. They need to, like, I'm a huge defender of Lydia, but I'm also like their biggest critique. Anyone who works at Lydia that happens to watch my videos will tell you the same thing. I send so much information out to them. I'm telling them, hey, this, and this need to be done. Why is it not done yet? And then it doesn't happen. But then there's times where they just do something so nice, and I'm like, I can't hate them for this. I absolutely adore it. But so we take 1 step forward, 3 steps back, then 2 steps forward, then 5 steps back. It's a huge love-hate relationship with Lydia, but I can't hate them. I just love them. Oh my god, bro. Alright, Indominus, you're gonna need to start putting in some effort here, buddy. I'm pretty sure he went instant Cunning Rampage. Oh, okay, I'm kind of glad I didn't go for Tyrannosaurus, because that would have absolutely demolished me. I'm more confident putting Indominus out just because it has that damage reduction. Ooh, yes! 30%. I think they should give this thing 135% critical chance. I think Indominus, as a legendary, is very, very good. Would I say it's anti-meta? Probably not, but it's up there, I'd say. Oh, please bypass. Oh, I'm still doing a lot of damage. 1100 is not a bad multiplier. You know, if he keeps going for a strike, he could probably whittle me down. But he doesn't. He goes for instant double. What is their obsession with using this animation? It was cool with the Masiaka animation, like the weakening decimating run. It was a very cool animation. But Clever Girl is quite literally the only creature in the game that has its own unique animation. I think, in my personal opinion, it's a way better animation. It's cooler. It's badass. It like runs around, then bites the camera. That's dope. Like, if we had that for another Raptor, I think it would be nice. Because not a lot of people have Clever Girl at level 21. Not a lot of people can see that animation. Not a lot of people even run Clever Girl nowadays. Oh my goodness. So this is exactly why I saved Rebirth Rex. I just needed to get the Raptor out of there because my chances of winning this match are exponentially higher. Okay. Also, did you know this? They changed the icon for devouring critical impact. That tripped me up. I'm like, whoa, did they shadow nerf it? And then I asked somebody, and they're like, no, that's always been there. I'm like, sure, okay, you fooled me. Oh, please don't stun. Yes, there we go. Rebirth Rex for the win. We love to see it. That was a really close game. GG, Rick. This guy's been getting way better. I'm concerned when we fight in uniques.